Okay, hi everybody. This is me. Um, yeah, Balkan 922. Another episode of Game of Thrones, season 6, episode 9, Battle of the Bastards. Um, this was insane. This was crazy episode. We're gonna start with we'll talk about Marine first, and with Danny and everything else, and then we'll get into the battle. Well, she shows up pretty much, Danny, and the Masters seemingly are, taking out everything. But it alludes to, like, no, you're not doing that. We're not having that. And the best thing about this part was when Danny was talking to Tyrion. I thought that was like, you know, it was like he was telling her, yeah, by the way, your father did this and so forth and so forth. I
Yeah.
like, and I
I
like
think
how he put it up.
that's the duality of Danny. I think, and I
Yeah,
actually wish they focused on it more and made it more blatant instead of these like moments they do with it, where it is like a struggle for her not to fall in her father's footsteps.
right.
It really is. I mean, granted, yeah, there's technically, for moral standpoint aside, there's nothing wrong with being ruthless to your enemies, or as ruthless as your enemy is going to be to you
No.
in warfare. I mean, that's just how warfare is.
Yeah.
Is it the quote? Is it? I mean, did you wrong thing or right? No, but would the Masters do the same thing to Danny if given the opportunity? Absolutely.
Oh, of course they would.
So, I mean, granted, I don't agree with Danny's original thought of just, wrecking this, burning everything to the ground or anything like that. But it was really too, and I got psyched out. Like, I'm like, is Danny just gonna bounce and leave Marine? Like, especially when they said that she had to leave the Unsolid, Melisandre, and all that. I'm like,
Yeah.
nah. And she flies off on the dragon, and I'm like, no, we're not doing this. We're not doing this.
Plus,
No.
they didn't know she had the Dothraki as well. They didn't know about that, the Masters. So,
Yeah.
that's
The
another thing.
Masters got wrecked. I mean,
Yeah.
I do like the fact that, in essence, I was right that this was going to blow up in Tyrion's face, and he underestimated the Masters.
Yeah, I mentioned that last week too about the
But at the same time, I really did think there would be something bigger behind the Sons of the Harpy than just the Masters. I was kind of hoping on that.
Yeah. Yeah. You were pushing that pretty hard.
But I thought that scene was actually very. I was hyped for that. That was boss. She just
Yeah, that was some of the
dragons.
best. That was some of the best dragon action we've had in the entire series.
Oh shit, that was insane. Just burn all the ships and shit.
Like,
And
what? We're like they wasted the money for like 2 seasons. We're not getting no more dragons next season. One. They blew all their money on that.
This episode had no ghost, right? This episode had no ghost because of the CGI budget, probably.
yeah. But I thought that whole scene was just insanity. It was just complete insanity. And I like the fact that Tyrion says, "Oh yeah, one will be killed and the others can go." And then, no, kill two.
Yo, how much satisfaction did Grey Worm get from doing that?
Oh, he got a ton.
Bruh,
Yeah, a ton.
that knife swipe was fucking sexy. Like, he just did that shit. Yo, that shit was hot. Oh, man, I love it.
Yeah, that was
I love
awesome.
it. Grey Worm still got it, man. He's been on the sidelines all season, but he still got it. That was awesome. That was awesome. Yeah, my fanboy was high. My fanboy was real high. Like, I loved it.
Even mine was, and I don't really like her.
Yeah, you're like the biggest Danny hater.
And for
But,
1 second, I was like, maybe she will sit the throne. But then I'm like, nah, she's crazy.
For a moment, I thought she was gonna do some ruthless ass shit to where, like, all right, I really don't need Marine no more in the install because I have the Dothraki. I was actually afraid she was gonna do some shit like that and just bounce.
I kind of
Like,
wanted
so-
her to. I mean, that would make.
That would have been fucked up. That would have been fucked up. That would have been so fucked up.
the
That
mo-
would have made me like. I would like legit have struggled to be still a Danny fan if she did some shit like that.
I mean, she has nothing there. I mean, the plot line's done with Marine pretty much now.
Yeah,
I mean,
definitely. I definitely agree. The Marine plotline, his part reaches in. She needs to move forward, and the seeds are obviously being set for her to move forward to Westeros. But yeah, you're right. All that can be done in Marine is pretty much done because now essentially you have the conflict that was on the back burner of Marine with the Masters. That's done because the Masters are dead.
Yeah.
So
It
yeah,
looks like the war's over.
there's nothing left to do but move forward with going to Westeros now.
Hopefully, I mean, maybe.
Well, I mean, it doesn't like I feel confident that things are starting, and even in this season has put an example that I think that story wise or story progression wise, this season has had really good pacing compared to the past couple seasons.
The past 2 seasons have just been complete waste. Like they've done nothing for this story, in my opinion.
What, you mean last season?
Yeah, and like season 4.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, last season hands down is easily yeah. I'm not a fan of last season. Even when I rewatched it, I was like, this season was just not good at all. I just did not like last season. It had a couple good moments here and there, and like I said, hard home. But overall, yeah, it was a waste as to where this season, and also to the fact that we're getting the last 2 seasons are going to be shorter seasons. I feel that the story pacing is definitely going to pick up, even more so.
Yeah, I mean, is it confirmed for the last 2 seasons to be short?
I thought it was just going to be the last season was going to be a shorter season, but now I'm hearing that next season is going to be shorter too.
I don't know if it's confirmed yet, but I know that like they were talking about it. I don't know.
Yeah, I think the last season being like 8 episodes is confirmed, but I don't know about next season. But with that said, like when it comes to the Greyjoy stuff, this episode, I thought that was actually really good. I know you complain how they get there so fast. Again, the passage of time in Game of Thrones will be an unsolved mystery.
For me, like because of that, like Sansa can't be pregnant, even though like this kind of like alluded to it, like maybe at the end.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like she just can't be pregnant because like there's been too long of a time gap between it when she was last with
Sansa, yeah.
But I wouldn't leave it past them to do it.
If Sansa is pregnant, considering how much time they make you believe has passed since that, you're right. Yeah, even though the pregnant vibe was there, yeah, I agree with that. But what I liked about the meeting with Theon, Yara, and Dany, there's actually a really weird bond between Yara and Dany.
Yeah, the feminism bond. Yeah, that was great when she G-checked her when she was like, we have that like in common about both of our dads being bad people. That was awesome.
I mean, both their dads sucked at being kings. You know, they both want to be, queens, which is not, the norm in their culture.
Oh, right, yeah.
So I like how they kind of highlighted that in their meeting and whatnot. It was really well done. And like Dany, definitely, I've told Zor about this. I don't think Dany's not the type that once she does make a pact with someone, it's because the other side is greener. She won't turn her back. Like I don't think she would turn her back even if the offer was better on Yara and Theon. So they're now, I think, are part of Dany's camp now.
Yeah, they officially are. Oh, serious. I like that scene, to be honest with you, that whole scene, because I think it was interesting to see Theon and Tyrion talking. That seemed like, like open up old wounds, if you will. But I thought it was done well.
Mm-hmm.
So, hey. What's up, Darius?
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah. We can hear you, yeah.
If I tell y'all that I cried, did y'all believe me?
Oh, shit, you cried. Oh, shit, damn.
Listen, I know y'all on topic, but let me get this out the way. Y'all know damn well I've been waiting 3 years for this.
Oh, shit.
I've been waiting 21 years for this.
Damn.
Yeah.
It was...
But Marine, I think Marine was definitely like it fit really well with the episode. Like I really like the fact that we got that extra subplot put in instead of being like a watchers on the wall kind of thing where all we got was the battle. The fact that they progressed Dany's story to set up, and I really do hope that they do put the fight like I was just talking to Brent's boy when you were out. There's nothing more they can do on Marine. Marine storyline is done.
Yes,
it's done. And the fact that we know that the seasons are going to be shorter going forward in the last 2, I feel that Danny, if not by the end of this season, then in the first half of next season, we'll move out to Westeros.
Mhm.
Gotcha. So next season gonna be 8 episodes supposedly. Dan and Dave said it's supposed to be 8 episodes next season.
Something, yeah, that's what I've heard too.
Yeah, so
I don't know if it's confirmed or not yet.
Yeah, I don't know if it's true, but they it's time for her to go to Westeros now. Like I told her,
there's nothing left for Danny.
Yep, she conquered it already.
Yeah, she did. She needs to move on.
So, the Battle of the Bastards.
Oh,
my
shit. That was insane. Oh my god.
Oh my god. Let me say this, man. Shout out to Jon Snow, man. He got amazing cardio. For you to fight that many men and not be that tired, man, you got amazing cardio.
It does. And I just forgot something that happened in this episode with Davos. He went over to this area.
Yo, I was like, oh shit.
I was like, when I saw that, I thought to myself, oh wait, is she alive? No.
But think about it. Yeah, this was already coming. I said this to a dude at the store last. I went to a store and get some last week. And I told him, look Davos, because I told him they was going to that same area where they burnt Stannis' daughter and where he killed his wife. Think about it. He was gonna run across some clues. Well, his wife committed suicide.
Yeah.
So props to Davos though for keeping his emotions in check and fighting the fight.
You for the next episode.
Yeah, y'all already knew it was a reason why they went. It's a reason why they went to that same exact spot. It was for that reason.
Wow.
Yo, I will say though, props to Davos. He didn't go and like mess things up. Fight.
No, he didn't.
Put his emotions aside. I'm gonna handle business first, and then I'm gonna handle this red bitch.
Shit, that's gonna be awesome.
But I want. Well, all right. Let's talk about the initial meeting between Jon and Ramsey, which I thought was fantastic.
The parleys are always like amazing in the show. Like,
I thought it was excellent.
Yes, and then the fact that Ramsey was a coward, he was like, I heard you one of the best swordsmen in the North. He was like, nah, I'm not fighting you.
I know, right? Like, and I'm thinking like, Ramsey is just bitched out, and these fools like you got Karstark, which is like a hardened warrior, and shit. And it's like, how can you respect this dude?
Exactly.
That's the part that kind of like the way Ramsey fought this fight was strategically brilliant. It really was. I'll give him that. But from a warrior's honor standpoint, how did they not like this dude? Why are we doing all the heavy lifting for this motherfucker? Like,
exactly. And think about it. It was some foreshadowing. What Jon told him when he met Ramsey, he says Ramsey will not fight for y'all. And what he did, he did not fight for him. He did not fight for him. And you saw Jon himself, the commander, fighting in that battle.
Mm-hmm.
But you got
but I was hoping like that. All right, we're seeing like this dude is using us.
Exactly.
If that never happened though.
Yep. I'm gonna tell you who I was expecting. I was expecting Karstark to say, you know what, Jon Snow, right? He's not fighting with us. Let's go ahead and stop it.
Because Karstark was a beast. Like Karstark was a beast.
Yeah, he was.
Actually, Small John Umber, not the Karstark, but whatever. The other guy was the Karstark, the one who wasn't in this episode. The smaller dude who was at that table. The people who brought in Rickon were the Umbers.
Oh, I got the dude in the cave was the Karstark, right?
The dude who was like headbutting like Tormund was Small John Umber.
Oh, my bad.
The Umber. Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Might be.
I can see why you would confuse it.
Yeah.
But still, though, my point still stands, goddamn.
Exactly. like you expected him to join, you expected him to stop, but he still kept.
Yeah.
And then if you notice something, you can see that kind of respect between him and Jon, because when they eyes crossed each other, you can see how they looked at each other. Right. He was like, "Damn, we fighting." Like, I can't, you know what I'm saying? That look they gave to each other, like.
Right.
Now going though to Sansa and Jon's conversation after the War Council, I actually felt why Sansa, people hated on it. I've seen some hate comments about it. I understand where Sansa's coming from.
Yeah,
Sansa was terrified of losing. Sansa was really like I think the Sansa. If you think about Sansa for a minute, this is the first season where she literally is safe. She literally is not in someone who has ulterior motive against her or wants to use her. She, for the first time ever, is in a safe company. She's safe.
Here's my problem. Let me address this. Now everybody was a bitching 5 seasons ago. Oh, Sansa weak. She can't carry her own. She needs somebody to protect her. But now when she finally start holding her own, it's a problem.
Right.
That's true.
Sansa's development this season, her maturity has been amazing. It is definitely easily one of the top highlights of the season. Granted, it kind of comes out. It really should have happened last season.
Yes.
I wouldn't say it came out of nowhere because you saw the progression. You saw the beginning of that last season.
Progressive last season, though. Yeah.
Yeah, you saw the beginning of that last season, but then they played the whole Sansa victim card again for no reason, which was dumb. Yeah. Granted, it builds up to this, which I think the payoff is amazing because this was amazing. But to sit through all that last season was fucking painful and redundant.
Yeah.
We saw it for 4 other seasons.
Yeah. And I want to say this because I went back and rewatched the episode. I'm going to say this. Ramsey did kind of play his own downfall because when he kept shooting those arrows in the air, he was killing half of his men. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a psychopathic piece of shit. That's the thing. He doesn't... Anyone who kills their own father, who's the one who made them not a bastard and actually a lord, is an idiot.
Exactly.
So Tyrion Lannister is pretty much an idiot.
He's all fucked away though. Ramsey really did have a smart strategy going in.
Yeah.
Like how I think his original plan, with what he did was Rickon, was actually to get Jon alone in the middle, and then
it was. It totally was. That was definitely it.
And that was some brilliant shit. Like that was some ruthless but brilliant shit.
And then another thing I know about that scene, because I think Davos was like, "Don't do it." I think he tried to make Jon angry, get aggressive.
Oh no, yeah, no doubt.
Because when he did
it, was even saying to you, don't do it. Yeah,
Davos was like, "Don't do it, Jon," because he saw what he was trying to do with Jon. Because remember the foreshadow, what Jon told Davos, "I got in his head." Or he told Sansa, "I got in his head by what I told him." But Sansa told him, "I know him better than anybody. And I know how he is. He gonna turn around and he gonna use your cards against you." And look what he did.
Yeah, that's a good one.
No doubt.
I think the best part though, which you used the phrase, "Don't bite the hand that feeds you." That's the best phrase I could come up with because. Think about how many times he used those stupid dogs. And he said, "Oh, I haven't fed them in 7 days." Yeah, good job. Dog food. I thought that was the best scene. And the meeting between him and Sansa, that was done beautifully.
I don't know if they were trying to parallel it, but it was very similar to when Robb interrogated Jaime Lannister and Grey Wind came up from the side to like intimidate him.
Oh,
yeah.
Like it was like similar like shots too, like how they had the dog like walking up on the side through the bars. Yeah.
Right. So
the best part about this episode is when the dogs ate him up, and you look at Sansa's face, and you see, if you go back to the previous season, you will see the scary, cowardly little girl that probably would have got emotional in that scene. But now you see her progression has came so far. It's like she didn't show no emotion in her face. It's like it's all game time. She just walked off, no emotion. I was like, damn, that's deep. Like this girl didn't show no emotion about what happened to him.
Yeah. He was a psychopathic piece of shit, and he got what came to him. The only better thing would have been to cut his dick off.
Yeah.
But that's just me personally. So, I mean, I thought it was done well. The battle was done well. The other part that really got me was when the giant just shoved in that door, and then everybody came in. That guy had so many arrows in him, and was still standing.
Yeah.
That man. Boom, man. Yo, that
Yeah,
man, that giant, is the baddest of the bad. This entire oh man, he was a G. He was a
I wanted him to say Snow right before he died, but
he did.
Yeah, and you know, I love how Game of Thrones did that. They made it seem so realistic because in terms of his body size, I think the giant is like 9 foot, 10 foot. You know,
he's not like that big.
But like I'm using real life terms, but in terms of a bigger body with muscle, it's a lot more harder to take down. And I love how they displayed it with the arrows, how he's so big until it was harder to take him down than a regular average human.
Right.
That shit was just genius to me.
I loved it. I loved it.
Really, the greatest part was when they rolled down those direwolf banners.
Oh yeah.
I was about to add, like Darius and Friends Boy, y'all the biggest Stark fans in this call. When those banners came down.
Let me tell you something, man. That's when the tears start coming, bro. I was like, if Ned and Rob was here right now, they'd be so fucking happy, man.
Yo, I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't tearing, but I was clapping. I was getting my Daniel Bryan on. Yes.
I'm gonna tell you something else too, man. John knew what he was doing because when he beat the hell out of Ramsey, he could have killed Ramsey, but you want to know what he did? He stopped beating up Ramsey, and he looked at Sansa. He was like, you know what? He put you through his pain, so I'm going to let you handle him.
Yeah, that's what I took from it, too.
Yeah, I felt that, too. Like, at first, I thought, like, you know, he was going to hand Sansa, like, a dagger or sword or something, and let her have the killing blow, but then to have that final meeting going on, that was really well done. And then, again, more characterization, character development, more so character development for Sansa, because she did her first, like, heartless thing, and she actually took pleasure in that shit, you know, and vengeance.
And I love what they're doing with what's her name, Melisandre character, the witch, the red witch.
Yeah.
I love what they're doing. I love what they're doing with her character because now they're making her be more doubtful of her visions. And at first I felt like she was a little cocky and arrogant. She thought all this stuff was gonna happen for a fact. It was gonna go her way, but now she's seeing that some of her visions don't come true. So now she's kind of doubting herself.
Then you think about next week.
Yeah.
When everybody's like, "You need to kill her, Jon Snow. Look what she did to Shireen."
Well, y'all know Jon Snow is not going to do that.
I'll be perfectly honest. I wouldn't be surprised if Melisandre gets killed next week.
I wouldn't.
Technically, we have a new Red Priestess.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised, but you know,
Thoros too. He's coming north,
and she's hotter too. So
yeah, I would say this: if she gonna die, Jon ain't gonna do it. I would see Davos sneaking up on her, trying to kill her. Davos trying to sneak up on her and kill her, or you know what I'm saying? Him doing it.
He's tried to kill her quite a few times, and it hasn't worked out.
Yeah, he's not gonna kill. Jon Snow's not gonna kill her. He just killed a kid and those other guys.
And think about it. He felt bad about that, but he did it because of what they did to him. Technically, she never did him anything.
Yeah.
Right.
He's like bring her back to life.
He bring her back to life. Yeah.
Also for next week, it seems like we're getting the trial at King's Landing, and something with Dany, and I think something's going to. I don't want to say anything because Rick told me what the title of the last episode.
Man, I think something.
I'm not saying anything.
I think we're going to end up on a hell of a cliffhanger. I saw a hell of a cliffhanger.
I saw the title. I'm just happy because the actor who did the Ned Stark flashback, he's supposed to be next episode. So I want to see what they're going to do with that.
Yeah, I feel
the win's a winner. Is not next episode coming?
I feel that next week's episode is going to end things off, and we're going to want season 7 tomorrow. That's what I think they're going to do it to us.
What we need to do next season, we need to see what they need to do on the field now. Because think about it, a lot of houses gonna turn on Jon, like in the north, because they think about it, they have killed a lot of North people.
Yeah.
So I think a couple of houses might turn.
Yeah, it's not. It's not necessarily a bittersweet victory, but it's a temporary victory because
Yeah,
now they have to
uh-huh.
keep it north. Because depending on, King's Landing technically is a hot mess right now, leadership wise.
Definitely.
Kevon is like the worst hand of the king ever. To be quite honest, this man has done
Whoa,
nothing.
whoa, chill.
Look, I don't know what he does in the books, but this
No,
dude has
even in
done
the
nothing
show, it's not
in
his
the
fault what's
show. What has he
happening.
done in the show? What has he done in the show?
He like inherited like shit. Like Cersei like ruined
Yeah.
all this shit by
He
being
inherited
like the
shit,
fake
but
militant.
he hasn't done anything.
What could he do? He is an
I don't know.
incompetent king, an incompetent
He
high
could. I
council.
don't know. Maybe not let the High Sparrow brainwash the king.
That was all
He
Cersei's
doesn't
fault.
even want it. He's a good
That was
dude. I
all
love
Cersei's
him.
fault.
But they need technically King's Landing should be an obstacle for Jon and Sansa to deal with. They have to act on that. That's one thing they potentially have to face. Obviously, Littlefinger is going to want something in return.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
By the preview, he gonna want them sons of sugar walls.
Oh God. Jesus.
I mean, there's it's a temporary victory right now. There's still a lot to overcome.
Yes,
For
yes,
Jon and Sansa.
yes, all right. And
But at
we
the same
ain't
time,
even
we got
seen.
Arya coming back. And look,
Yeah,
I'm not gonna lie. When Arya and Jon reunite,
gonna be
I'm
bad.
gonna cry some tears. That's gonna.
The twins are in the preview with like Walder Frey and like Jamie, so I wouldn't
right,
be
I forgot about
surprised if
that.
like Arya popped up there because she can
Matter of
move so
fact,
fast in the show.
thanks for-
I think Arya's coming
Thanks,
this season. I
thanks for
don't think
bringing
we'll
that
see
up.
Arya.
Thanks for bringing that up, motherfucker. Thanks for bringing Walter Frey bitch ass. But you know I don't like it. I can't stand that bitch.
Yo!
He did what he had to do.
Hey man, I fucked that.
Hey, I might like Harry Potter, but I don't like that old fucker.
Now, let me say this now. Correct me if I'm wrong, but last season, after Tywin died, didn't his brother say that, or Cersei said that after what Walder Frey did to the Starks at the Red Wedding, that they had broke their ties with him?
No, they're cool with him.
They're cool.
No.
Wow.
Last season, that they mentioned something about breaking their ties with Walder Frey after what he did. Now, go back and watch. I was telling you this what he said.
The Lannisters planned the Red Wedding.
No, right. yeah, Tywin did.
No. I think you're confused. Littlefinger set the Boltons up. The Lannisters severed ties with the Boltons.
Okay.
Yeah. And Cersei gave Littlefinger permission to move the Knights of the Vale out in the battle for the North.
It's because
that's what happened. Walder Frey. Granted, they wouldn't have Walder Frey's back as much as Tywin, but there still is a alliance there. Henceforth, why they send Jamie.
Jamie took the Tully's castle to give to the Freys, Riverrun.
And at the same time, I kind of feel bad for Walder Frey because he ain't got enough men. He couldn't even take back the Blackfish, the castle from the Blackfish.
His men were incompetent as Frey.
Walder Frey ain't shit. He gonna be shit. He ain't shit. He hides behind his little Lannister skirt, and that's all he is. Fuck Walder Frey.
But still, it's still be a beautiful death, though.
Yeah, I mean, I would love to see Walder Frey's head served at the victory table, but I'll take what I got.
Yeah, I'm fine. We got Ramsey, we got Roast Boat out there, so I'm good with that.
People are so happy that Ramsey died, but we did lose a Stark this episode.
Well,
that's true. Yeah.
I was like, fuck.
But here's the question though. I was talking to some dude. He was like, to tell you the truth, they kept him on screen so long to the point where you can't care about his character no more.
Yeah, he was definitely the least screen time Stark.
Yeah, it's like, do we kill?
He still had that last name, boy. He still came from Nettie's balls.
This thing next week when the intro comes on and they show Winterfell, it's gonna be like the wolf on it, the banner now and stuff.
Yeah.
It won't be the Bolton banner, it'll be the wolf and whatnot.
Now all we need is Ben-Jen to show up. Oh wait, he can't go south of the wall. I forgot.
Yeah, Ben-Jen probably can't go south of the wall.
He said to Brad, he can't go south.
All right, Prize Boy. All right, I need your input because
What's up?
There's actually a meaning behind that white bird that we saw in the preview.
The white fur?
The white bird.
There's a white raven.
Oh wait, no, there wasn't.
Yeah, it is.
In the very beginning.
Yeah, the beginning of the preview.
No.
Man, hey, after the stream, tell me about this. After the stream, tell me about this. I want to know about this.
Yo, I'm telling you, people, look, something's gonna happen next Sunday. We're gonna get something that's gonna make us want season 7 that next day.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna be a fucking bird. Oh my god, I'm not ready.
Will come down? You think the wall will come down?
Well,
I'm only like, all right. What I believe. This is what I believe. That Bran will go over the wall, and that will break the barrier because he has that mark on his arm that will allow the White Walkers and the Whites to break through the wall.
Oh my!
That's what I believe. Zoro doesn't believe me because he's like, well, maybe that's obviously a bigger magic or whatnot, but it's still the same magic.
Hold on,
and
so the
I think
wild
that concept was put there for a reason.
So the wild have magic.
Well, okay, remember in Hold the Door? Yeah. Remember in Hold the Door how they were able to break into that cave because of the Night's King's mark on Bran?
Well, yeah, I'm talking about the I'm talking about Night's Watch, right? You talking about the wild Night's Watch, right?
I believe the wall. Okay, I believe the wall is magic. I believe the wall is magic.
Wall is magic.
I believe that theory. I actually do. It's honestly the only theory that really makes sense as to why the White Walkers don't cross. Yeah.
Well, yeah, you got a point because they really close to the wild. They never try to get over the wild.
I feel it's literally the only theory that makes sense as to what keeps the White Walkers north.
You know what? Brick, me, you talked about this in the last stream of Bonkai. I was like, I can see the White Walkers going to taking out the rest of the Night's Watch and sending a message to Kingdom sending a message to Jon Snow. Like I
think that it could end with the White Walkers taking the wall.
I mean, there's a reason why it's called the Winds of Winter.
Yeah.
Something's gonna happen. Something big is gonna happen.
Yeah. I think the last shot's gonna be the wall falling down.
I don't think the wall's gonna quote unquote collapse. I think the White Walkers are going to take the wall.
Yeah. I don't think the wall. That's a thick. From what I read,
they already wasted all their money in the opening of this episode. They ain't got no more money right now. They ain't got no more money right now to do that.
And then from what I read about the walls, the Night's Watch, I heard that's a thick ass wall. Damn, that is thick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not a big wall.
No, they can climb over it. They can climb over it with ease, but I don't see them breaking it down. That's hard.
Magic.
Yeah, I don't see it. Well,
Should be interesting. Oh man, a winter.
That's the next book that's coming out.
But I believe the fan theory that the wall is a magical barrier that keeps the White Walkers back. I feel it's the only thing that makes sense, and I think that Bran is going to accidentally break that barrier.
Shit. Oh shit, that'll be crazy.
Do you think they'll make Jon King in the North?
Wow.
Well, he can't be King of the North because he's not a Stark, right?
Yeah, but...
Well, if Bran comes back, well, he could be King of the North.
Technically, Bran is heir to Winterfell.
He's crippled.
As far as like an official standing, I don't know what Jon. I don't think Jon's thought that far ahead.
Yeah.
I think that's going to be more a Littlefinger Sansa department kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the thing with Jon. You're just saying, Rick.
If like Sansa quickly becomes like queen in the North, she could like legitimize Jon, and then Jon could just like take over. You know what I mean? I
just realized something. We have Queen of the North. We have Queen of Dragons.
Yeah.
We have Queen of Iron Islands.
Yeah, it might be all
power, man. Go power.
The Sand Snakes.
Go power.
The Sand Snake. Oh my God.
I mean, we never. Hey, I ain't gonna lie. I don't see Man, the only way I want to see a Sand Snake storyline is Jamie decides to go get revenge back on them. That's the only way I want to see them.
I don't see how they're even relevant.
I never want to see the Sand Snakes on my television screen again.
Yeah.
I don't see what they can possibly do.
It is ridiculous that the Lannister army is not in Dorne right now.
I agree.
They killed.
I will say this, Brez boy. I think the thing that makes it make somewhat sense is the fact that Cersei has no power. Yeah, if Cersei was in power, you're absolutely right. But the fact that Cersei doesn't have any power now, I think that's mainly.
But I mean, like Jaime has power. Jaime has the whole army behind him. Like Jaime could tell him to go wherever he wanted to, and they would go there.
But Jaime is so concerned. Honestly, Jaime's so concerned and obsessed with killing the High Sparrow. Yeah. I mean, he's not obsessed with killing the High Sparrow, but that's his main focus right now.
You know what? I was telling. So didn't what's the guy the scientist? Didn't he tell Cersei he knows something about the High Sparrow but it never got revealed yet?
No, I think that that rumor that he talked about. All right, Brez boy, you probably know what I'm talking about too with the wildfire.
Yeah, I think it's that too.
I think that's what he was talking about. At first, because of the way it cut to Tyrion, I thought it was something about Tyrion and his position in Marine. But then I heard about all the other things, like how Cersei. Everyone thinks that Cersei's going to burn King's Landing to get herself out of his trial.
Wow.
Going back to the Bran visions too of the wildfire.
Right.
Yeah. Foreshadowing.
Because the Mad King had storage containers of wildfire underneath King's Landing.
Yeah.
And he had his plan.
Jaime says it when he's in the bathtub with Brienne. Jaime talks about how all the wildfire was planted about the city in season 3.
Do they still have any more? Because didn't Tyrion use some of that to fight Stannis off?
That wasn't the same wildfire. That was new wildfire that Tyrion had made just for that battle.
Oh, okay. So
they never found the wildfire.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
They never found the wildfire that the Mad King had planted around the city.
Oh, so it could possibly still be there, right?
Right. Yeah, so King's Landing is pretty much a time bomb, or it could be
Echoes Kingdom.
The kingdom.
If she does that, holy shit.
I mean, there was a scene earlier when
I've seen some cool videos they kind of piece together past visions of King's Landing and Ashes that kind of they use these past visions to support that. But one of the visions they actually used was the one the freaking warlocks gave Dany, which I think made no sense. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't see how that can
when she
support
saw
that.
the throne room. Yeah. No, it's because she saw the burnt throne room.
So what will happen?
That's the Undying. She saw the burnt throne room. Snow was coming through.
If Cersei gets convicted, what happens to her?
That's a good question. That's a very good question.
Well, now that trial by combat is gone and it's trial by Septon, I feel like the Septon will be able to pick and choose what crimes she's gonna be committed for. So I think that she's gonna be convicted of killing Robert, but not convicted of screwing Jaime, because if she's convicted of screwing Jaime, then Tommen can't be king. So if she's convicted. But if she's convicted of killing Robert, I mean, I think she'll probably just get sent back to Casterly Rock. I mean, I don't know, and be a prisoner there. I don't know.
So she won't be executed. That's not gonna happen.
Yeah, I don't think so. It's unprecedented, what's happening.
She confessed to adultery when she took her walk. And then whatever other crimes now she's going to be put on trial for. I really do hope, though, that this trial wraps up the whole High Sparrow storyline.
Yeah, I hope so, too. I mean, come on.
Well, here's the thing. This is the Game of Thrones, and remember Ned Stark was promised to go to Night's Watch, and you saw what happened to him. So anything can happen to Cersei.
That's true too.
Just back to the wildfire thing for 1 second. I
Sure.
remember this earlier scene with like Varys when he said that Littlefinger would be king of the ashes. So who knows if that was foreshadowing.
Interesting.
Damn,
He said that Littlefinger would burn the Seven Kingdoms to be king of the ashes.
Oh man.
I'm still trying to figure out Littlefinger's goal. What is he trying to accomplish? What's his overall goal?
I think he still has. First of all, he still is in love with Cat, and I think he definitely sees Sansa as that.
Yep.
But there's more to it than that. I think he just wants the North, or he wants to be part to own the North. I think that's what it is.
He wants to climb the ladder of chaos.
Yeah, that's.
I mean that's his whole thing. You know, climbing the ladder of chaos, and obviously he wants to take Sansa with him. But I think it's part of it. Like, and again, I've debated this with Zoro. I don't think he intentionally put Sansa in that bad of a situation. Like, I think he trusted Sansa to think on her own.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think he really realized how bad Ramsey was personally. Because what would he have to gain from that? If he knew that Ramsey was as fucked up as he was, he had nothing to gain from putting Sansa through all that.
That's true.
He doesn't have ill will towards Sansa, but at the same time too, he didn't anticipate getting someone back to King's Landing, which I think also messed up his original plan with Sansa.
That's why season 5 just has to be forgotten. Like, these plotlines don't make sense that they set up. Like,
I would say this though. I'm gonna say this though. I think with him, because let's be honest, Littlefinger did help Sansa's character progress to the woman that she is. If it wasn't for him, she wouldn't be the woman that she is. So let's be real. But at the same time, him making her the woman that she is gonna turn around and bite him in his ass.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because Sansa's not her obedient student no more. Now she's her own person.
Because if you think about it, Littlefinger has did a lot of fucked up shit. I mean, I still think he had something to do with setting up the war between the Starks and the Lannisters. With that Valyrian steel.
He did.
He does, yeah.
Yeah,
he did.
Yeah, that was explained.
He literally, you could argue he literally.
Catelyn's sister said that Littlefinger.
Okay, all right.
Catelyn's sister told us that like Littlefinger told her to poison Jon Arryn, so Littlefinger killed Jon Arryn.
Yeah, true. I remember
that. There's an argument that Littlefinger put the entire War of Five Kings into play. Now technically Catelyn did because of her acting on, everything, and also her apprehending Tyrion, which actually catapulted the war between the Lannisters and the Starks.
Mm-hmm.
But Littlefinger literally put a majority of it into motion.
Yeah, he did.
It's between Littlefinger and Catelyn, they started the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
True.
That the people to blame most for the war are Jaime and Cersei for having these children.
Get that shit out of here. What is this? Brother and sister.
But you know
They
what?
fully
Tommen
knew
don't seem.
what would come of their actions, and they still did it for their selfish reasons. Like, yeah.
Tommen don't seem half bad like Joffrey was.
No,
Tommen is an idiot.
He a soft little punk, whatever. But it's not by law.
I don't hate Tomlin. I'm just like it's just a sucky situation for him.
Yeah.
He's just in one of those situations, and all he could do is try to. It's his brother's fault. It's her fault.
I don't know. Like Tommen, part of me does kind of want to like the kid because all right, here's the kicker though. Here's the kicker. For the greater good, it actually probably is best that the faith and the royal family cooperate and be pillars for King's Landing for the greater good.
Yeah, for the greater
good. As far as having stability for the kingdom, because think about it, King's Landing as a people are united, except for Cersei, of course. it looks like this for the general public is actually very beneficial.
Oh,
For
definitely.
them. You know what I mean? So in hindsight, it is a good thing. We assume as the viewers that the High Sparrow has dark, evil, internal motives, but it appears that. But actually, Ali, he knows how to play the game.
Yeah,
There's
the
really
Game of
no
Thrones.
evidence. There's really no evidence that yes, he is fanatical in the sense of what his militant have done as far as closing down all the brothels and everything, which is a bad thing because it's that's less revenue for the kingdom and everything and whatnot. So yes, there is a fanaticism to the High Sparrow and his followers, but for the general public, the High Sparrow hasn't done anything cruel or malicious.
No.
Yeah, he's positioned Cersei in a very fucked up situation, but at the same time, Cersei's had this coming.
Yeah, she did.
True.
But,
Karma's a bitch. I don't think he plans to kill Tommen or whatnot, or have Tommen run the kingdom to the ground or whatnot. I think he does. He have his own agenda into how I think he would like to see the kingdom ran. Absolutely. Is it necessarily a bad agenda? Who knows?
But yeah, though, man. Next episode's gonna be the shit. I know you probably trying to end your stream or something, Bunkai, but next episode gonna be the shit, man. Like I say, the actor who
I'm feeling it.
The actor who played young Ned Stark confirmed that this is his next episode he's gonna be in. So do y'all think it's possible we gonna get that continuation of them Ned going into that the tower?
That's a possibility.
It has to be what's happening.
Yo.
But because think about it, Bran was dying to see.
I'll do another reaction.
Bran was dying to see what was going on up there, but the what's his name stopped him.
The Three-Eyed Raven.
Yeah, so he's not gonna stop him no more. So Bran can see the full thing now.
Yeah, you can. And I'm actually gonna go take a look at that preview again, Rick, just to see if that white Raven's there.
I have it paused on it right now.
First thing they show.
It's the first thing they show. Oh, shit, I gotta see it. Yeah.
No, they show it like halfway through. Yeah.
Wow. So, this was a great episode. I'd say 8.5 out of 10.
Man, 10 out of
10 out of 10.
Man, 10 out of 10, 5 out of 5, A plus. A plus.
We've had so many bad episodes.
It really is a 10 out of 10 episode because, except, all right, like I said, my minor gripe with it was I thought that the sequence with him getting smothered by the bodies, was very confusing and went too long. It was long.
Yeah.
But that's not even a critical gripe. That's a personal.
Yeah, this now, Rick. That's what you call nitpicking.
Nitpicking.
You're nitpicking, brother.
But yeah,
it legitimately is a 10 out of 10 episode. We have two storylines of the season wrapped up quite nicely.
Oh wow!
We have story progression in the sense of the Greyjoy Dany alliance now that have story progression. The Starks have the North. Things are set up. Storylines are getting wrapped up and getting the final act now. Now we're literally going more and more towards the final act of the story.
Yeah.
10 out of 10. You can't there's nothing wrong with the episode whatsoever.
Now let me say this before we get out. Robert Kirkman, step your game up, man. This episode shitted on your whole season, brother.
I mean,
this one episode of Game of Thrones shitted on the whole season of Walking Dead season 6. Let me put that out there.
Because like I said, all right, it's despite the dick move they did to us, I still fucking love the Negan from what I saw of him, and I actually did like the episode.
Negan, it don't matter, Rich. It's not.
But you are right. Like we're.
Oh man.
This is Negan fanboy 124 talking. Yo, done with this. Why you gotta go there? I actually really did like this season of The Walking Dead.
No, it was good. It was good, but this episode, this whole season completely shitted on it, man.
This season of Game of Thrones has brought it. Like seriously, like all right, they're legit only like 2 episodes that I think were meant to okay.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay,
true.
yeah.
Yeah,
And that's not the for me. I thought the opener, like I'm in my area. I thought the opener was fine. I thought there was nothing wrong with
Oh,
I
yeah.
don't even remember what happened.
it.
So,
But other than that, this season has so brought it. Like they brought it hard.
Oh,
Like
it came hard. If they can top this season for next year, well, I top this season next year premiere or whatever, they gonna be doing hell of a man.
Oh, definitely.
And Arya's gonna
Especially-
be in Westeros, so her scene's gonna be horrible.
Especially if the next week's episode is more better than this one.
Oh, you know it's gonna be better.
Yeah, it's just gonna be like. I mean, it's gonna be
now
insane.
the way I see, I think that for the most part, this will be a typical Game of Thrones closer in the sense that we're going to have the aftermath of a major event. Like we're going to see a lot of the aftermath of the Battle for Winterfell or the Bastard Bowl, whatever you want to call it.
Anthony Smith just
But I think
messaged
towards
me.
the
What
end of
the
the
fuck
episode
is
is when we will get something. We'll be like, what the fuck? So, like the first half will be aftermath, and obviously we have the trial, and then we're going to have, I think, a big what the fuck cliffhanger. Like, whoa, kind of thing.
Yeah, gotcha.
And actually, I think the finale is going to be like 70 minutes.
It has to
I
be.
heard it's gonna be long.
It needs to be longer. I mean, there's so much to do.
Yeah. So what the fuck was that? But that's the thing though. Like, look, that trampling shit. That actually, you don't think that would really happen in a fight like that?
It would, but
What you mean
It's
trampoline
like-
shit? What
In
you mean?
other words, when they were
no,
on top of each
when
other.
they were trampling Jon Snow.
I mean, yeah, somebody stepping on it. Shit.
If they're closed in an area like that,
closed
you're
them.
fine.
Rick, bro, they closed the man. Then he was, bro, he was getting stepped on by hundreds of men, bro.
Those
I love this comment though. Someone made a comment. Hold on, let me find this shit again. This shit made really. I'll find this shit again.
Actually, if you ask me, now that you mention it, that was a perfect scene. It actually made fucking sense. Cause you used to wonder why, damn, all these people fighting at once and nobody getting stepped on and nothing. It's like, nah, it makes sense to me. And then the other part I like,
Today was a good day.
yeah,
I mean, we had this. We had Bastard Bowl. Dean Ambrose is the world champion. It was a good day.
yes, today was a very good day. And finally, before we go, good justice for once.
That is true.
The good people finally win one goddamn thing for once.
Yo, here it is. Here. This battle was basically Saving Private Ryan meets Braveheart.
Yeah. I wonder what's gonna happen to the Bolton Castle though, where Theon was being tortured, the Dreadfort. Like they haven't talked about that at all.
Yeah.
I don't think they're gonna tie up that loose end. I think they're just gonna leave it there. I mean, it's not that important, but
yeah.
Who's left of the
Like
Boltons?
I said, there's a lot of logistics to work out in terms of the North and whatnot. That
Yeah.
Because pretty much all the Northern families, for the most part, except for the ones that sided with John, which were like what 2 or 3. That's all that's left.
yeah, but they'll all be pardoned. No, they all have to be
Well,
pardoned.
sounds like the one family they gave Ramsey Rickon sounds like they're dead. They're done. They get hanged. They're done.
Yeah, well, yeah, the Lord died. I mean, like maybe they can make new lords with like Tormund or something. No, but Tormund probably won't like want to be a lord. I don't know. We'll see.
We'll see. Yeah.
In the books, I don't know if this is a spoiler or not, but I'm just gonna say it. In the books, a wildling actually marries a Karstark before this battle.
Oh shit.
Hey, let me say this. That's a lot of fucking bodies to burn. Oh, it's a lot of bodies to burn, man.
Yeah, that's true.
Man, this not gonna happen. But imagine if the White Walkers was to pass by there and revive everybody on their field.
Oh my god. Jesus. That would be insane.
That would be.
Oh my god.
That's at least 80. At
You
least
know,
8,000 men. That's at least 8,000 men.
you know what comes to mind when I
What?
see that? It's the trailer from E3, Gone Days.
Oh yeah.
Zombies are coming in and he's shooting them and shit. I'm like, damn. That'd be insane. Oh, but yeah, great episode.
Yeah. My rating 10 out of 10. Perfect.
And
I love it.
I still gotta watch Penny Dreadful. What?
Oh, gotta watch.
that. I gotta watch Penny Dreadful episode 9. Oh, episode 8.
No,
that's so
I
annoying.
got some bad news though, bro. I got some bad news.
What happened?
So, Penny Dreadful has got the axe. This is it.
Oh, this is it.
This is it. Tonight, this finale is it. And I'm very
Well,
sad.
actually, well, here's the thing, though. It makes sense now I think about it. Because where it's at, confidentially, where can you go from there? I mean,
I guess. I don't know. I'm actually still a little behind. So maybe I'll change. Maybe my sadness will change. I'll try to
once you catch up, you'll see what.
But how can they wrap up? I can see them wrapping up the stuff with Vanessa. But how can they wrap the stuff with Victor and Lily?
That's gonna be challenging. That's gonna be.
See, that's why I don't know. This season's been kind of like it's good, but like I feel like the Vanessa, the Lily, Victor stuff kind of makes no sense.
Yeah,
In some ways.
it's a lot of craziness going on. But yeah, thanks everyone for joining. Rick, Darius, Rez.
My pleasure, brother.
This was a great episode.
The wolves came again.
Again. So we'll see you next week. How it's gonna close out, and then we got, I guess, what, 2 more seasons? Oh man.
Yep. Yeah.
I'm gonna. If this is it for Penny Dreadful, Rick, I'm gonna have to find some of the shows for like the spring, because well, I still got 2 more years of Game of Thrones, so I'm still got 2 more years. So thanks for joining.
Okay. Thanks, man.
And yeah, I'll take a look at the comments, guys, and answer some of those questions and so on and so forth later on. And yeah, Bonkai Night Tour 2. We'll see you guys later. Peace out.
Later.